Soul House, one of the only places where you can be still yet moved at the same time. I'm your host, Destinee Chanel, and on this episode, we're going to be discussing college and its necessity. But first, I want to go ahead and introduce to you my panelists. To the left of me, we have Rhea, Chris, Petrie, Christian, LMVP, Tamika, Latavia, and to the right of me, we have Jantia, Tia, Cree, T-Hope, Cody, and Dupree. Okay guys, so I do believe that education is very, very powerful and very important, and it's a beautiful tool that we are blessed with. But me personally, 3 years into undergraduate school, I just realized that I was enrolled into school because I thought I had to be. I wasn't necessarily there because I thought I was getting anything out of it except a piece of paper. So that's just my personal experience. What has been, I know I have a few people here with master's degrees, doctorates, different things like that. What has been y'all's experience with college itself?
Since the scandal came out, I'm really like, fuck the whole process. For real, bro. Real talk, bro. Because you go read the FBI reports on that, bro, you would be like, these motherfuckers, bro. Like, literally, from high school and up. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? It's like, bro, so you telling me if I had money, I could send my kid all the way through past law school? Yeah. It's what you telling me? And we have to endure with, especially with our skin color, we was told we had to work twice as hard. We had to do this, we had to do that, to even try to get a recognition or a recommendation to fit in their club or into the system. Man, fuck that. Yeah. Fuck all that shit.
And you have your...
I'm getting my master's.
Your master's. Okay, Cody, and then Dupree, and then Latavia.
I did go to college, but I did not finish college. And I feel like it's not beneficial if you don't own no business. It's just teaching you how to work for somebody. It's teaching you how to go with the system. You're not looking outside the box. How you own the business, how you get an LLC, how you fix your credit. It don't teach you that. So I don't feel like it's beneficial. Like the job that I have, the insurance adjuster, I can make what somebody make in a year within 3 weeks. But people don't know that. They don't look at how your credit is beneficial. When you go to school, you're gonna come out of school with $100,000 plus in debt. Then they're gonna give you a car loan for $30,000. So you're $130,000 in debt. With $130,000, you can buy a house. You know what I'm saying? You can rent that house out and make money off that house. And then you can move to the next house. They don't teach you stuff like that in school. They teach you how to fit within the system and not work outside the system. My cousin has a college degree and he can't find a job. You know what I'm saying? He in debt. So he can't find, he got an engineering degree to be exact. He can't find a job.
Okay, Dupree, Latavia, Jantia, and then Lily.
Well, from my personal experience, like I was in college, but then I just started to realize I felt like I was wasting time and money to be specific. Like I'm paying $10,000 for a semester to only get 10% of what I'm learning in the real world. And quite frankly, college ain't teaching you about no real world. Like you say, it's teaching you how to just fit in a certain system. And like I say, our parents have told us, oh, once you graduate high school, you go to college, you do this, you go be a strong black man and things like that. But as we grew up, we got more ways of becoming more powerful than going to college as itself. And we found other ways to work around that. And like I say, the whole college system, it's terrible, man. You gonna be coming out with $100,000 in debt and student loans and all of this crazy stuff. People going to hospitals, you know, because they about to commit suicide over studying for a final. It's just not worth all the stress, in my opinion.
Okay,
I'm not an advocate for college necessarily. I'm an advocate for success. So some people, they take advantage of college in its entirety. So when I was in school, my main focus was, getting my little A or B in this class and going to the next party. I wasn't really trying to network and do internships. I had a lady come to me because my project was so good. I was a PR major and it was an advertising class. She came to me and she was like, there's this company in Lubbock. I went to Texas Tech. There's a company in Lubbock who I want to put y'all into contact with because your project was that good. I was opposed to it because I was like, man, I'm not trying to stay in Lubbock. I wasn't trying to work my way up and get that experience that I needed out there. So I feel like I didn't use my resources the way I should have in college, just because I was focused on other things outside of my actual career. So when I did graduate, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any networks. I was depressed for like a year, but with my degree, I was able to go into teaching. So it did open up a door later on.
I think, so for me, I will agree with saying that, you know, I think it's not college, just college. The education system in general is flawed in that way if it doesn't teach us about the world. You shouldn't be in college learning about how to balance your checkbook. You should, like, to me, that's something that should be learned. That could be learned in high school. So I don't think, I think it's the education system off top in general that's flawed. It's not just college. College is more expensive, so it gets that, you know, that rep. But I feel like, going back to what Katie said, for me, going to college, and I think it's necessary depending on what you want to do, depending on what your major is. There are certain things where I'm like, you know, maybe you didn't need a degree to do that, and I think that's perfectly understandable, and that's fine. I think that college does not have to necessarily be for everyone, but there are certain things that, you know, if you want to do, I think a degree is, for my field especially, a degree is necessary. So it was necessary for what I wanted to do in life, and even if I took, you know, even now if I want to do an entrepreneurial, you know, in that same field, I would still need that degree. I wouldn't be able to just go start a firm on my own, you know, without that degree. So I think for me, it was necessary. And also your network is like one of the biggest things. College, yeah, some of it is a scam, but the network that you build in college, if you do it right, I love networking. I like meeting new people. That was the best part of college to me. Forget the classes. The classes were hard, yeah, but it was like that network and being in an organization and gaining those leadership skills. That's something that I felt like I wouldn't have learned out here on my own, because I wouldn't have known where to go just being at home, joining the organization, knowing how to lead, knowing how to manage other people. I think that's something that college gave me. Outside of that, just people to network with in other areas too.
Do you have the name Cody?
So I think, just like you said, I think the piece in terms of education is important, but not necessarily the institution. I think when you consider the institution itself, you got to think longevity. You got to think about legacy. For me, I'm 32 now, and from the time I can remember, like I was learning how to gamble at 6. In middle school, I was a kid selling pencils, and everybody was playing with yo-yos. I was selling yo-yos. You know, when they was playing curveball, I was the nigga selling the basketball. So from a young kid, I've always known and understood that I was gonna be an entrepreneur. My family has always been in the streets, so I've always understood the hustle and the sale element, whether it be the right or the wrong. My brother started having kids like really early, and then like my oldest brother just kind of got into some trouble. So I started to realize as a teenager, that somehow I was gonna have to create some level of legacy for these kids that are coming from my family. So I was the only somebody in my family to graduate, period. The only male in my whole family to graduate high school and then go on and graduate college. And then, and that's an immediate family and an extended family. I didn't necessarily care for the institution itself. I really didn't start looking at colleges until probably like my second semester. My grades were well enough where I just got scholarships when I went to school. But I already knew I didn't want to go to school. But for me, thinking, my foresight was that at least I need to let my nephews know that they have to maybe take a shot at it if they're not pursuing a track that doesn't really necessarily need college. If you're doing a specialized field to where you have to get your undergrad, your grad, a med degree, then dude, you gotta go ahead and graduate high school and move on. But they needed somebody to lay those tracks down so they can drive the train right behind me. And I feel like had I not done that, then their mind would have been set on how I get this money and hustle straight out the gate without saying my uncle took a shot at it at least. I don't even use my degree. I mean, like she said, I created, you know, I use a network. Right. You know what I mean? I went to school and I was the candy lady at school on campus. You know what I mean? So I did what I was doing growing up as a child, as an individual who was core to me in college, and I used the institution for that. And, you know, turn around and flip my debt another kind of way. But I don't think it's a necessity. I think you have to think in terms of the legacy, and also if you're in a particular field that needs these specialized and constant papers and check marks and everything behind it, then you got to go for it. You know what you got to do if you want to be a doctor. You can't hustle through that one. You got to go to school.
Right.
Well, that's legal. You go into legal academy. So.
Yeah, but if you want to be in real estate, you don't got to go to college.
You don't have to do that.
Is she into
She's an engineer.
engineer?
Yeah, so school, that means engineer, doctor.
Yeah, for me it makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's
But me, entrepreneur, you do not need to go to school.
mechanical.
I had to go to school for mechanical engineers. I know a bunch of people that had their businesses soaring, and they just, under the hood since they was 5.
Yeah, I understand that. When I first went to school, when I went to school, I was civil,
Even electrical.
and then I switched to mechanical.
Yeah.
But like for me, I didn't have that background of like I wasn't working on cars. Like I used to tinker with stuff when I was younger, but like that wasn't my background. So like I didn't just learn on, like I used to go to school to learn it. I knew that was something I was interested in, but it wasn't like, I didn't grow up being like working under cars and stuff like that. So I didn't know, you know, the specifics of even what I needed to learn. So for me, it was just like, I'm gonna go to school, take the time out, learn. And I wanted to do other things too. I wanted to, you know, really, I took college as like, I want to figure myself out. And I feel like that was a good avenue for me to do that. So that's what I did, and I loved every bit of it. I would also say with the whole, because I'm hearing a lot of people saying like the $100,000. I'm a big advocate for. I went to HBCU.
Yes,
It was a
indeed.
lot. I won't say it's a lot cheaper, but I'm just saying that every state has state schools. So to me, I think a big thing. You know, people think about the names a lot, but there are so many schools that provide like. I went to PD. We have one of the best engineering programs in the country.
Right.
So it was like. You know, like people might look down on my school, but at the same time, like I had, you know, like not to be boastful, but like I had an internship every summer in a different state. Like I had the opportunities were provided to me, and I didn't spend $100K in loans. I don't have that many loans. I got scholarships, I got grants, I got some, you know, some stuff I did have to pay, but I think that trying to go to school and take out 50,000 loans, like there's other avenues to do that, and I'm a big advocate for like education in general, and like, yeah, if you can get into a Harvard or a Brown, kudos to you, but if you can get into a PV, a Howard, Hampton, that's like, or even like a Texas State, like those schools aren't as expensive, so you can still get your education and not come out 100K in debt, like.
True story.
Cody, you were next anyway.
I'm not telling people not to go to school. Some people do need to go to school. Everybody can't be a boss, and people do need workers. But I'm just saying, like, the most stuff that I've learned was outside of school. Like, I learned how to deal with contracts outside of school. You know, so I'm not saying that some people don't need to go to school, and I do agree with her. Some schools are cheaper. You don't need to go to UT Austin. You can go to Prairie View. And it's a piece of paper at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper saying that you graduated.
Right.
But I just feel like we need to look outside the box. We can make more money in real estate. We can make more money in doing the same thing that you want to do without school by creating your own business. Like, just like this podcast. Like, Destinee could blow up off of this podcast. She didn't have to go to school for this podcast.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
I think it just kind of boiled down to the self-awareness.
Yeah.
And again, the end goal. Everybody's not designed to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Everyone's not designed to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. So I think it just kind of boils down to being self-aware. Somebody maybe or maybe not be in your corner to help you guide and say, maybe you should just go this track. And then just kind of go from there.
Tamika?
It's not a necessity though.
It's not a necessity.
You know what? I'm gonna say this from like a different perspective. I
You're an
think
educator, right?
for me,
Yeah.
I am a lot of different things. Like I'm an entrepreneur. I went to college. I have my degree in experience. Like,
Okay.
You know, so I think that he's speaking about self-awareness, and you know, since we're all like black, then I always like to, you know, just narrow things down to black people. I think if you have a black person who isn't self-aware, then college would be a necessity. It'd be a great start. You know what I'm saying? Versus just getting out there and then getting to the streets and getting you know what I'm saying? Networking, internships. I was really big on programming, free money for college, free books, like everything I could get, I got, and then I dropped out. Seriously, like as long as they were paying for it, I went. And I knew my money was gonna end. But when they didn't pay for it anymore, I went. I think we have to preach more. Just use it to your advantage. It's not, we know it's flawed, it's a flawed system, but there are still advantages, key advantages that I've had advantages, you know, learning more about myself, learning more about what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a nurse. That wasn't it. But I got a job through the school I was going to, being able to work in a hospital, and I was able to have that experience knowing, you know what, this might not be for me. And then I went to entrepreneurship, but then like something he said, you know, if you have some will about yourself, then college is a necessity, because like me, I'm in sales, so you couldn't pay me to go back to college because I can make money sitting at the house, you know what I mean? So I just think for black people, those who are not self-aware, who don't know what they want to do in life, I think college would be a really good start, and more people should preach college. It's not about the flaws, it's not about the system, it's about what you can take from it.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think that's a good point. I think why, and I would say, and that's not me going back on myself, but like, college was, not saying that I thought it was the only option, but I really did. Like, it was, in school, you know, they're like, what college you gonna go to? Like, when you get ready to graduate, they're like, did you apply? Like, what you get into? It's like, it's a competition. You see all these things on Instagram now, people like, I got accepted to 30 colleges, and they're like, you know, throwing these big parties for people and stuff, and I think it is pushed on us, but I think it goes back to what you said, it's because as black people, we didn't always have that opportunity. So the fact that we can even go, like, I think that's what pushes people to be like, at least try.
And I think that's why
get in.
I think that's why I'm anti, because we're putting it in 18-year-olds' heads. Go to school because we used to have a chance. Now you have $30,000 in debt because you're just going just because you're supposed to.
Well, yeah, in that aspect is true. I think it's a good avenue for some people though. Like, it's like she said, you don't know what you want to do. College is a good place to figure it out.
I really think that's the opposite. I think you should not be going to college figuring out what you're trying to do, because now you're just lollygagging in college with debt.
You're gaining knowledge regardless though.
It has to be after
You have to know already what you want to do so you can go and network, go and get internships.
But who at 18 years old, at 18, I had no idea who I wanted to be.
I always knew what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do.
But I'm saying not everybody else. Not everybody does.
That's why I think my route was okay for me.
Yeah.
To go to college.
But not everyone is as strong as you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do not sign up for debt until you know what you want to do and plan on how you're
Go to
doing
like
it.
community college or anything.
That's what I want to say. We have to take an action. We have to take it back as far as like everybody doing what they want to do. We have to put that some type of programs in high school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have to put something like that.
It's the education system in general that needs to be
it's
fixed.
straightforward. It's straightforward. It's from
sorry.
the curriculum to everything, from the curriculum to on down to, you know, the way we're teaching and learning to our kids. I think we should take it back where as far as we have to put a curriculum or some type of social science in the high schools where we're showing kids, look, this is what this is about. You know, the next level of college, and this is what you have to go through.
I agree with that, 1,000%.
I think you don't know, like, I'm saying in general, I don't know a lot of kids, and I work with a lot of like kids and like youth and stuff. They don't know what they want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I think it's hard to ask somebody at that age, like, what do you want to be in life when they haven't even been exposed. Even when I got to college, there was stuff I was like, dang, I think I might want to. Like you said, you don't see that, and I think it would be better for everyone if you could see that early on before you sign up for that. I agree that it is kind of backwards to sign up for something that you don't know if that's what you want to do
I
or
kid
not.
you not. I didn't know when I was signing shit that was my name. And I didn't know at 18 that was my dad.
And nobody teaches us that. That's the problem. Financial literacy off top is part of the problem.
I'm sorry, Lily was next,
The
guys.
primary factor in that, I think that one of the reasons I went to college was because of my parents. Someone said about going to college because we didn't always have the chance to. That was like a big thing in my household, was go to college, go to college, go to college. And I realized my freshman year, I had a full ride scholarship, everything. I was like, this shit is not for me. Like, I I don't do well in a type of environment like that. I'm the type of person that likes to wake up when they want to, and I'm the type of person that likes to write if I want to, or call somebody if I want to, and that just wasn't the type of environment for me, so I didn't finish. I have less than a semester left, and I dropped out because it wasn't for me. Yeah, like I could literally go back right now and finish my bachelor's degree and be done, but one thing that I can say that college did do for me was teach me that there are other ways to make a fortune, and there are other ways to build a network, and that also you don't have to do what people fucking tell you what to do. Like, you can be who you are, and for that I am grateful for going to college, but for the debt, no, I'm not.
I agree.
I'm curious to know, most of your parents, I'm assuming, are educated, because you said that they preached go to college.
Absolutely. So I primarily feel like I went for them and their own manifestations that they wanted me to be. Now, one of the two, because I have a twin and my brother did finish college, and you know, that's great, you know, but and eventually I feel like I do have other degrees though, regardless of a bachelor's degree.
Can I ask you, what was the conversation when you told your folks, seeing as though from a young child that was, you were cursed, of course, for the most part, into going to school? Like, what was the conversation like when you said, come through this shit?
Honestly, there wasn't a conversation. I just did me, and then they knew that was going to happen. I'm pretty sure they did, because I've always been the more rebellious one from the two of us. And you know, I don't want to say that I'm an entrepreneur, but I do know how to be resourceful.
Right.
And so I think, and I learned that. Well, I learned that in college, and then I've also learned that outside of college. But I'm just a person like that. I take a situation, I see what I can make twerk with it, and I make it happen.
Not twerk with it, Will.
She's working with it.
Regardless of whether I went to college or not, when I do eventually have children, I'm not going to beat them over the head with it.
Right.
I'm going to be.
Right.
When you have children, would you encourage them to go to college the same way our parents did?
When I have children, I'm not going to beat them over the head with it. I'm going to go ahead and let them be who they are. I'm going to immerse them into different situations and let them figure it out. If college is what they want to do, then I'm going to let them do that.
I just love topics about parenting, so I'm mommy. I think that, yes, mommy of 3. So I think that when it comes to parenting, we have to be more well-rounded with our explanations.
Right.
Like I tell my son specifically told me he wants to go to the NBA or the NFL. So I think I was informed that you don't have to go through college to get to the NBA, but you do have to go through college to get to the NFL. And that's exactly what I told him. I say, you know, you do what you want to do because you're going to be 18. You know, I can't make you do anything. I tell my children every day, I just want the best for you. I want you to live a productive, healthy life. Whatever that means for you. I don't want you to be a bum. You know what I mean? It's just so, I don't think it's necessary to push college on your kids. I think it's important that you get to know your children for who they are. And you ask them questions. I ask my children sometimes once a week, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they be like, well, dang, well, your answer has changed 3 times already. So I just want to know where you are mentally so that I can provide you with the right information, because college may not always be it. And I think that's important, to get to know who your kids are and get to know what they want, because college may not be in their plan.
As a parent, I feel like we need to teach our kids. First off, you know your kids. You know, is my kid able, do I feel like my kid is responsible enough to go to college and finish college?
No, I agree. You know your children.
You know your children. No, wait, let me finish.
I agree with that.
If you're a parent, you know your kid, is my kid gonna really go to these classes every day and do this work? You know what I'm saying? So you need to put something in your kids, like, you know, if you're gonna get 100, this what I learned. If you're gonna be $150,000 worth of debt, if I give you $150,000, you can get a $1.9 million building for $100,000. If you got good credit, they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? That's something we need to start preaching. You can have $1.9 million that will be $2 million, $3 million in 2 years. If I gave you that, if you gonna pay for that, or they paying for that, credit is the most important thing. Forget college, bro.
Can I please respond to that?
To me,
No, no.
Christian.
Okay, because my thing is, that's a little, and I think I think that's a problem in parenting. Like, everybody knows their child, but once your child is 18 years old, that's an adult. And so there's a difference. And so if you spent the necessary time with your child from the time they were born up until the time they were 18, it's like you may have a perception of who your child is, but just like some of us may have felt left out or misunderstood by our parents, you don't want to be that parent to try to tell your kid like, oh, I don't think you're going to be responsible enough to go to class. Like, come on.
No,
Like,
but the question is, with your children, would you put that into them as their kids?
I didn't tell you to tell them this is what the hell you're gonna do.
but thoughts produce energy, so that's just like a bad vibe.
I'm saying like, put this and still this like, look, you finna go to Duke and you finna pay $130,000 in loans that you might not even want to do this, man. What if you want to do this? What if you put this $130,000 somewhere else? So
Okay, you mean just like from a consultative perspective, like a consult,
put this
right?
thought in their mind.
I thought, okay, I get it.
What white people do? White people don't go to school because they got to. They go to school because they can go to school.
Yeah.
They already got stocks and certain investment funds.
Well, yeah, in college is not, like not always necessary. I just thought you were saying like, well, dang, you ain't gonna be responsible. You don't need to go to college.
But you know, look, I don't know how many kids you got. Which kids?
3.
But you can tell me like, you know, this kid is not responsible as this other kid.
Yeah.
You know he's not gonna do this if I tell him one time.
Right, but
like,
So here's the thing. I understand counsel when you come from. But being in that environment, right? For one, kids go to school at 17, 18, right? So they're very much so underdeveloped. When you get to school, that's when you kind of wake up. Like, okay, you might not feel like they'll wake up every morning and do what they're supposed to do, but until they immerse in that environment and be able to thrive and grow up, that's the only way they're gonna figure it out.
Exactly. So my thing is just be more supportive because they may be like, well, you know what, Dad, you don't know me. I'm going to spend the $130,000.
On the flip side of it, I understand what he's saying.
Right.
Support them.
Can I say this?
It's like offering an appropriate alternative to somebody.
Right, and I get that's what I said from a consultative perspective. So y'all understand that. I get that.
So I just agree with art imitates life. So I just use Grown Ups as a movie, okay? And the gentleman in Grown Ups too, the young boy, he was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And the guy didn't understand why his child wasn't grasping onto academics like the rest of his children. Okay, and he was like, why is this baby not grasping onto academics? Why is he, not understanding how to do mathematics, how to do English and social, and so there was one time when they were at a party and the kid was playing the piano. And he was like, oh my God, and the baby was like a genius, a little Mozart at the piano. And so he was like, my child is a pianist, not a mathematics student, not a social student, not an English student. He's a pianist, which is a talent, which we all have, which is a God-given talent, which we all have. So to me, you got to learn your child's talent versus what their academic is, what we've been taught, which is the world, getting to know your child and getting to know their talents, getting to know their God-given abilities, and then tap into that and then forward that.
But ultimately, it's up to you to do that as a parent. To
identify that and to say, wow, my child is really good at piano, my child is really good, and my child is really interested into playing the violin, or my child is really interested in cheerleading or whatever. So I don't think as saying driving them forward to academics and to the college career is the way to be. Some children may be a great pianist and be amazing at that, and that's how they make their income. That's how they take their careers to the next level. So I think, to me, tapping into their God-given talent is the way to go. So I'm not a parent yet, but that's where I would. What code? Damn, Jody, it's always you though. It's always you though. What?
I was like, damn, you're on the same page.
Air five.
for my kids, like my future children, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily push college on them. Like I said, I'm a big advocate for education in general. I think one thing I've learned over the past couple of years, you can get education anywhere. There are like, even I'm out of school now, I can go online and get a certification right now. That might take me a week. You know, so I feel like I'm big on education in general. Like I feel like you do have to have knowledge. And like I said, the education system is flawed. I think financial literacy is something for sure my kids will know. If they don't learn that at school, at some point the school system needs to be involved in the curriculum in general. But I feel like that's something I would push on my kids is just like, you need to educate yourself about the world in general. Like, if that means you need to go to school, if that's what you want to do, you feel like you need to actually go to college and be in a classroom to do that, cool. If you don't, and there's some type of program, there's all kinds, you can get certified in programming and like all types of stuff. There's entrepreneurship classes and certifications that you can get, but you don't have to go to school to do that. But it's still a form of education. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's like, to me, that's the most important thing. It's like, do you have the tools to survive? Like, and I think that starts with education. I don't think that you can be 100% successful without some type of knowledge and education. So if anything, that's what I would push on my kids. Like, are you going to be able to support yourself? How are you going to do that? Like, how are you going to educate yourself and get to that point where you can be successful? So, yeah.
What I was gonna say off of what she said, I like what she said. Like, say you know your kid, just say you got a LeBron. Say one of your kids is like a LeBron.
Right.
If you know your kid just gonna go to the NBA, you can teach your kid, say they pay LeBron $1 billion to sign with Nike. Instead of you teaching your kid, sign with Nike, teach your kid, get your own brand. If Nike is giving you $1 billion, they making $10 billion off of you. That's all I'm saying.
That's a masterpiece.
What you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say it.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying if somebody's willing to pay you $1 billion, they're gonna make $10 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So if your son is just that brilliant, don't teach him to go work for this person. Yeah, don't put a cap on him. Teach him how to. Maybe you might not know, but you can put him in areas to teach him that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's all I want for my people. Like, I feel like we need this person, we need that person. Figure out how to do it yourself. Failing is teaching yourself. Like, that's how I didn't had templates on writing my own stuff for myself. And I figured out, man, I messed up this time. I done lost 2,000 or 100,000 or whatever. I lost it this time, but I ain't gonna lose it again. I'm gonna teach whoever under me or whoever I'm teaching. I'm not gonna lose that again, or they not gonna lose it. Like, you gotta lose to win. Like, that's how I feel.
We're gonna end on Latavia, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
And like, I agree with you 1,000% on what you said. The school I work at, they focus on college, strictly college. It's a collegiate school, and there are so many children who I always pull to the side. I'm like, what do you really want to do? And like, I'm probably the worst teacher up there, I'm sure.
The best.
I'm the best, but the worst for the school.
Right.
Because I tell the kids,
oversight.
hey, I tell the kids, hey, you need to research these schools since you want to go into them before you go to school where they have some type of program to where you can actually. I have several kids, so I said, that's your homework assignment for tonight. So they come back to me and they're like, Ms. Williams, so we've been looking at this. I was like, let's look through these schools and we can see if it's in the vicinity to where your parents can get you there, because it may not be in Cedar Hill necessarily. It may be in Oak Cliff or something.
Right.
Because I know sometimes parents are unable to get their kids to certain schools, so that's why I'm like, hey, talk with your parents first. If they want to come talk to me, come talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I told them, I'm not here to teach you just about communication, just about health. That's what I teach. I'm here to educate you as a whole in life.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And
You're gonna make me cry.
I don't even have no babies. Yeah, and that's so important.
To tap into their talent of who they truly are, because your baby just may not be a academic scholar.
Right.
They just may be amazing at piano or cheerleading or dance or.
You gonna have a piano.
Hey, Charles.
I love music.
Before you know it, your child gonna put the hell out of the piano.
Episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Okay. It was on the 44th POTUS, all in a beautiful FLOTUS. Rachel the last who want it, all of the cool kids on it. Don't need a dollar, but if you got this in your DNA, partner, you born rich. Dr. Miami gets millions of dollars to bless him with features we born with, like big lips, wide nose. Used to be like stars, ISOs. Now big lips, wide nose, thick thighs, they life goes. See the sun, we absorb that A stay down like a floor mat, yeah. It's the reason Brian jump so high. It's the reason Usain run a 4 flat. Puff that and we don't stop. Black don't crack, don't need Botox. In the 60s, looking half they age. Angela Bassett, Felicia Rashad. Talk that talk, no more being modest. What you call a woman with the pigment? God, it's impeccable genetically. You better check the pedigree. Be dominating every single contest. Woo! It's power, it's healing, it's medicine, man. It's tougher than tougher, you're delicate, decadent, elegant, present that's better than man. Today we addressing the elephant, and the secret is all in our melanin, man. For the pigment, there's nothing short of magic. It's for everybody wishing that they had it. For the love that they secretly got for us. For the ancestors, cause they fought for us. Don't you never let them tell you you ain't gorgeous. They can't ignore us, the world hockey adores us. The powerful potion, the nectar of truth. I'ma show you what this melanin do. Sunburn? What's that? All hair? Don't touch that. No dreads here, gotta cut that. Walk out the office right now like fuck that. This energy is real, ain't a tough act. Step out of line, get cussed at. Tell a head to kick rocks, better punt that. Everybody come from melanin and that's a fun fact. He black, she black, we black. 3 facts, do yo research. Ancient Egypt built the pyramids, create a religion. Civilizations that melanated people in it. They copied the blueprint, but they would not admit it. They burned the books and hoped that we were gonna forget it, but no. Look at your skin. I see pride, I see power. That's cool runnings. Keep it coming. 24 hours like Jack Bauer. Woo! The melanin come in so many different colors, and not one shade is better than the other. Dark skinned daddy with an Anglo mother. The black queen mama had a European lover. Dominican and Haitian, don't check other. Mexicans and Puerto Ricans just brown brothers, and the white man just a black man that went to Iceland centuries ago and lost his color. Now get mad if you want to, but tell lies what I don't do. Don't erase the facts, just embrace the facts that you got that melanin on you. For the pigment, there's nothing short of magic. It's for everybody wishing that they had it. For the love that they secretly got for us. For the ancestors, cause they fought for us. Don't you never let them tell you you ain't gorgeous. They can't ignore us, the world hockey adores us. The powerful potion, the nectar of truth. I'ma show you what this melanin do.